right, we're alive. Hey everyone, my name is Aaliyah Abraham from the Black Resource Network. I'm here with Diana Rose from Sovereign Markets to talk about our event on June 19th. We're having a Juneteenth night market, and we'd love to invite as many of you as possible to be vendors. So we thought we'd put together a little info session so everyone knows what to expect, what day is going to look like, where it's going to be, and how to get that $100 off. So I'm going to spin it to you, Diana.
Hey, everybody. Thank you so much for joining. We're so excited. Even this vendor info session is getting us all amped up for the upcoming Juneteenth night market. And if you remembered from last year, the night markets were such a beautiful, curated experiences of our local communities. So this is really going to be amazing. It's going to be amazing. So I hope that you are ready to take down some information. Grab your phone, a pen, a pencil to get some information. One of the main things that we want to do tonight is really raise the bar when it comes to vending experiences here in our local community. We want to ensure that the hosts, as ourselves, as well as you, the small businesses, i.e. vendors, really feel included and really feel as if that your presence means everything to us, which it really does. So again, we're hoping that, through this vendor meeting tonight, that you'll leave with a sense of wanting to raise the bar on vending experiences here in our community.
Mm-hmm. All right. I'm ready to hear all about it because I want to be a vendor. We got some Black Resource Network shirts we need to sell. So I'm here to find out as well.
Absolutely. So I don't know if we need to wait a few more minutes so some people can join, because we're going to go through this and then we're going to do a Q&A.
Nah, they're going to see the replay. Let's go.
Okay, let's go. We're excited. So not really sure how many people have vended with us before at any of our Sovereign markets or Sovereign night markets, and really looking forward to being able to jumpstart that. So pulling up my slides here, gonna share them. Our slides there. Yeah. My phone's blowing up. People like, oh, can I get the link? I want to be on. Sorry, guys. Leah rolls on time. So I'm sorry if you didn't get the code. Sorry if you can't log in. You're going to have to watch the replay because we know Miss Abraham starts on time. So, okay, again, this is our Juneteenth night market vendor info session. And again, take notes. Get ready to answer some questions. We do have a code for a percentage off, but you got to watch the entire presentation to get the code at the end. Okay, so we're going to talk about the agenda and the overview. Our purpose and mission, the night market details, how to apply for the Juneteenth night market, vendor experience, and what makes a successful vendor, expectations, and Q&A from you guys. So I don't know if you see these gorgeous ladies in this photo. This was the St. Albans night market, Aaliyah. I think this was the St. Yeah, I think this was
Springfield. Yep. Looks like it.
Springfield.
Yeah. Janice was. I gotta always do it by what shirt Janice was wearing.
Yes.
So yes, this is Springfield.
That's Springfield. And shout out to Tatum, one of our loyal supporters of the markets. So the mission of the Sovereign Night Markets is to cultivate our local community through culture, business, and that creates a valuable opportunity and experiences for our micro businesses and young entrepreneurs. So all of that to say, we want to highlight who we are in business and local artisanal makers. So it's just a beautiful, curated space for us to gather, share resources, as well as support local and hyper-local businesses. Event details. So the Juneteenth night market is going to be held on Sunday. That's actually Sunday, June 19th, from 5 to 10 p.m. at the Laurelton LIRR station. Again, that's Juneteenth night market will be Sunday, June 19th from 5 to 10 p.m. at the Laurelton LIRR station. Now, we also know that is Father's Day, but why not make it a Father's Day night at the Juneteenth night market? So come on out, bring your dads out, the male figures in your life, and celebrate. And you'll be able to pick up some really, really, really cool gifts. We have a ton of male man-focused, male-focused vendors. We have a lot of male vendors that will be there in products. So it's definitely going to be a place to be for Father's Day night.
I'm going to jump in and say that I put that Saturday there, and I have to go back on everything to see if I put Saturday. So if you see me write Saturday, Juneteenth, tell me it's Sunday. It is Sunday. I definitely did that.
It's not to be Saturday, but yeah. So this is our only Sunday night market. This is going to be the only Sunday night market for the season. The other night markets will be on Saturday. So again, that's Sunday, June 19th from 5 to 10 p.m. at the Laurelton LIRR station. And we have some pop-up. So just gonna, okay, that went fast. How to apply, right? So you want to be a part of the Juneteenth night market. How do you apply? So you want to take out your phone, you want to go to your computer, and you want to type in www.chacorp.com, and there you'll be able to create a profile in which you'll be able to read our vendor agreement, upload your products because we want to see your products. We want to see if you vended before. What does your vending station or vending area looks like? Your required documents. You'll be able to book the Juneteenth night market and all subsequent night markets, as well as any day markets. You'll be able to receive information. We do have a text message and an email blast that we use, and you'll be able to print the night market map, which is going to be really important because we have a ton of vendors coming out. So you want to know where you are. Again, lending to the vendor experience. We want to make sure that you are in the know. When you arrive, you know where to go, what section you're in. This is truly how we raise the bar regarding vending experiences. So definitely something that you want to do in order to apply to the night market, as well as pay for your space, and you'll be able to access your coupon there and there only. So you want to go to www.chacorp.com to do that. Vendor experience. I know you've heard that word, and I hope that that's a word that things there's a word pop-up is so popular. We want to make the term vendor experience very popular, right? We want to be able to, when you know that we're hosting events, we want you to know that it is a place that you want to vend at, and is also that you know feel proud to vend and also be productive and profitable. So a part of that is display. We are going to be, again, raising the bar when it comes to display. So leading up to the markets, we will be providing a vendor essentials course for you all, as well as giving you tips and ideas on how to design the most fabulous setup and display for your tents, because the reality is that you want to be attractive because everyone that's coming wants to spend money, I hope, but you want to make sure that your business is front and center. You want to make sure your business and your booth is inviting. So the vendor experience is a part of that. Another part of the vendor experience is, again, getting you all involved in terms of marketing and knowing what to say to attract your group, your cohort, your team, your network, right? We want you to be able to reach out to people in the most effective way to say, hey, come out, I'm having an event, or I'm a part of this event. We want you to come out and support the market. So the vendor experience is something that you will be hearing a lot of in 2022 from us, vendor experience, because we want you to know that, again, you are welcomed into this space. So and absolutely, Aaliyah, share this video with your network. Aaliyah has been amazing in making sure this is going out everywhere, right? So this is going out on Zoom, on Facebook, on everywhere that you can think of. So you want to, and all these other things. So you want to be able to share this video with your friends and with your other business friends, your business cohort and networks, because this is going to be a great Juneteenth night market event. I know it is. Is the recipe of success? successful vendor, right? Tonight, you will probably be hearing from two seasoned and successful business vendors on what makes a successful vending event. If you don't know these two gentlemen, we have Sir Lloyd Kirkling from Pond the Ice and Sean Farnham from Farnham Finest, two amazing vendors in their own right in the space of food. And they really have, I want to say, the recipe or the sauce for having a successful vending event. If you've been to any one of the night markets, they have both sold out, or the lines for Pondy Ice or Farnham Finest is usually down the aisle or down the lane, right? So they definitely have that je ne sais quoi for vending. So we're going to be hearing from them, if not tonight, in our next vending session. You'll definitely be hearing from these two because, again, we want to make sure that we're sharing the recipe with you for being a successful vendor, whether you are vending with us or not. The goal for and a part of our mission is to produce, is to help grow, is to help you really establish yourself in the space of vending. So we will circle back to these two. That was fast. I went through that very, very quickly.
Don't worry, we have a lot of questions. Don't worry.
Okay,
Don't worry.
I know we probably have a ton of questions, but I'll as we wait for
well, Sean's on.
Lloyd.
He's ready to go.
Sean, yeah.
Sean is here.
Okay, sorry about that.
Sean
yeah, I was
here. We're gonna bring on Sean, and then we can go into the Q&A. But I want to bring on Sean and kind of let him talk about his experience and what, his failures to success at this market or really any market. Yes, Sean, I said your failures and your success, and just tell people how you grew into the brand that you are. So I'm gonna bring him on. Let's see, what do I press here?
Ready?
Yeah.
Thank you to the Laurelton Farmers Market and Black Resource Network. We sold out in under an hour. Next time we'll make sure we bring a whole lot more. See you on September 12th in Rochdale and September 29th at Springfield Gardens for the next night market. Come out. I can't believe.
So that was you. The last thing I heard you say is, I can't believe, right? So what was the rest of that sentence? Go ahead, unmute yourself.
I was actually saying that I couldn't believe that kind of event was happening in our neighborhood. Queens Night Market for years denied me the opportunity to take part in the Queens Night Market. So I've done Harlem Week, I've done Atlantic Antic, I've done out of town venues, but nothing really in Queens. And for those that have not been to a night market, it's an amazing experience to be outside when it's warm in the summertime and to be safe and in an environment where you're
something
able
about the night that brings people out in a different way.
Yeah, and the smells and the food. For anyone that's from down south or anyone that's from the Caribbean, the kind of atmosphere that comes out when you're outside at night, and the night market brings that out. But it was happening in South Jamaica, Queens.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, it was that, my following pretty much started here in South Jamaica, but the opportunity to really touch those people in an environment like a night market is different.
Yeah.
It's exciting.
Mm-hmm.
And my failures never happened at the night markets. My failures happened trying to do things in other places where my target market did not exist. So a big part of my learning curve was figuring out what my target market was. And if anybody doesn't know what a target market is, really an age group and male or female, and people interested in certain things. So you really can narrow it down based on a lot of different pieces of information. Mm-hmm. But once you narrow it down, it makes it easier to know where you should be in order to make money. So someone's asking, what do I sell? So we sell the best cheesecakes that you've ever had in your life. We also do a lot of other desserts, cupcakes and banana pudding jars, and we have a wide array, but we are a full service bakery. our main thing is actually cheesecakes. We started with a sweet potato cheesecake in
I had that.
2001, and now we have 90 plus different flavors.
I didn't have 90, but I'm getting there.
Yeah, this summer, because we've been working with the Essential Kitchen, the goal is to give more opportunities to taste and sample all of the different varieties this summer, because we'll be able to produce more, which is really the goal. We service a lot of restaurants, but we do not have a physical location. So we have the food truck, which is the Not Just Desserts truck. We vend at pop-up shops just with our table and just desserts. And we also service restaurants. So the one thing that I've learned, one of my big mistakes was trying to have one stream of income. So when the night markets are over, you need to find other ways of continuing the business's growth. And that has to come from other streams of income. So we have the opportunity at the night markets to kind of start it off, get people's interest, but then you want to move into a retail environment where people can order from you and they can have it delivered to them, and all of those different things that when you go into business, you're a little fearful, but don't ever be afraid of making mistakes. Mistakes are actually opportunities to learn. I've made a lot of them.
And now I was just about to go into the failures part of this, right? So I have a specific question for you about that night, right? So your statement was that you sold out in 1 hour. Was that a success or was that a failure?
That was a failure. That was a failure.
Yep.
That was a failure because I did not anticipate as much interest as we had at that first night market.
Yeah.
And a lot of people, there were a couple of squabbles at the table. There were some people interested in things that they ended up bartering for as they walked away from the table, buying cupcakes out of packs of cupcakes that we were selling. And that was really not making enough, not providing enough. And the reason that was a failure is in the past, I've made too much. And Harlem Week, we made 1,500 pieces of desserts. We sold 200. But when I didn't sell them, I came back, and the following day I had to find ways of setting up a table at different spots so that people could come and find me in my neighborhood. So not in Harlem, but in Queens. Yeah. But what I've learned is the balance. Know more about the event that you're going to. Know the number of people that are going to come out. And you want to serve every person that is coming. So you want to anticipate having at least 75% of what's necessary to serve all of those people. If you go 100%, knowing that there is going to, not worrying about what's going to perish, right? Not really being concerned about losing, because you know that this event, because I've had the experience, I'm going to sell out everything that I have. So I have to walk in with that confidence, which came from a failure. So my confidence was built on a failure.
So after you sold out in 1 hour, what did you do for the rest of the event?
I walked around and bought.
Who'd you shop from?
I went to Miss Bud's truck because I really enjoyed that, and I always enjoy seeing Prince Abu, and what he does. And just really taking in. I had some CMOS, of course.
Yay!
That's one of my favorite things.
From who? From who do you like the CMOS from?
I believe that was your mom.
Yeah, no, her name is Marcy's
original Iris. Iris, I got you. I got you, Sean.
Break it and say it was my mom.
She's on this call. I got you.
Because I did see her come in, so I know she's here. But those are CMOS and from Maria is there are different things that you can take from the night market that will build a business for you.
Sure.
And the experience of seeing other people do it and other people's mistakes. I'm always one to learn from other people's mistakes and to hope people learn from mine. But always take advantage of what's happening in your neighborhood and recognize that I think one of the biggest things for any new person is to see Black people coming together at an event like that at such a large scale and realizing that everyone's safe in the environment. So everyone was there. The police department was there, and the fire department was there, and kids were there, and they were playing, and they were running back and forth, and nobody had to tell them to sit down, and no one had to tell them to go over to the other corner because it was an open space where they were able to enjoy themselves. So I always tell people this is one of the greatest events that I've ever been a part of. There's a question: how do you store cheesecakes since they need to be refrigerated? So at an event, the way we make our cheesecakes, we can hold them in coolers already pre-sliced. We use dry ice. We can use regular ice. On the food truck, of course, we have refrigeration for it. The food truck was actually an answer to needing a space, not having a brick and mortar. The food truck became our brick and mortar before we started going back looking for an opportunity at a brick and mortar space as well.
Cool.
Awesome.
I mean, I was going to ask him to list all 90 flavors, but I'll save that for June 19th.
No. You got I got you. We're not going to do that.
That would be
I mean, I think out of the 90, I've probably had 12.
Yes. There's 12 that are very common. Common meaning we have them most often: the Oreo, the pistachio, the banana pudding, the red velvet. Those are the common flavors that people really enjoy. But there are a lot of other ones that aren't as common. The coquito cheesecake.
I never get them. It's always sold out.
Yeah, the green monster, which I've had and I've sold out of it every time.
I'm curious. I don't know if you remember or not, but how many cheesecakes or how many cakes did you bring to that market that you sold out into an hour? So what was that like?
That was 400 pieces. So it wasn't just cheesecakes.
Right.
But it was 400 pieces in total. And I think we had about 270 pieces of cheesecake.
Yeah.
Wow.
But that was also
400 items in 200 cheesecake.
Correct.
And
we had cupcakes and banana pudding jars.
All right.
Yeah.
Are you signing up to be a vendor on June 19th?
Absolutely.
All right. Well, we're going to let you know how to get that $100 off for being a part of this session. And we just thank you so much for stopping in.
Anytime.
And you always have good advice to share because I see you at a lot of different events. You're really seen as like the model of a vendor here in Southeast Queens. So thank you. And I'm excited that you have a good time.
Yes, you are.
We've had you at a bunch of events. So it's always nice seeing you. So I guess we'll see you June 19th or maybe before then.
You will see me before then.
May 7th?
You'll definitely see the Farnham's Finest brand, if not me in physical being, but we will definitely be there.
Cool. You got some shout outs here.
Absolutely. Best cheesecake ever. Yes.
All right, Sean. We're going to let you go. We're going to bring on Sir Lloyd.
Okay.
And hear kind of what he has to say in his experience because he's another one of my favorite vendors. So let's bring him on. Hey, to switch out. How are you?
What's going on? How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Lloyd in the house.
Yes. So tell us, Sir Lloyd, what you sell, and then we'll kind of get into some other questions.
So mostly I know me by Pony Ice.
Pony Ice.
Dave Ice, fresh squeezed lemonades, Kev corn out there. During the colder season, we kind of switch it over to Sweet Nimbus. That's where we were doing just more fun food, comfort food. We had hot chocolates out there. Before the season ended, we were doing like mini pancakes. I like to try new things. It's more like trying to do like a proof of concept, and that's what it's all about. the night market, the farmers markets, it gives you that, like, you could try things out, get feedback and everything. I love it.
And that's a good way to do it. I don't think a lot of people kind of test the market with a small batch before they decide to invest in the whole thing. So that's always fun to come to your booth and see what you're testing this month.
It's so true.
Where'd he go? Can you hear us?
Yeah, it's really low. I can hear me, though, right?
Yeah, we hear you.
Okay.
Just yell. I mean, I'll try.
No, don't yell.
No,
You
we
look
hear
at the
you.
baby. Congratulations, by the way, on the new baby.
Yes.
So don't
Ah.
Hi.
Thank you.
Cool. So you've been at a few night markets, right?
Uh-huh.
So tell us your experience with the sovereign night markets.
I think everyone.
Not to sound cheesy, like it honestly was something. I've even heard other people say this, and I'm co-signing it. There were people that were like they've never seen anything like this in Queens, and I can truly contest to that because my biggest thing, I'm born and raised in Jamaica, Queens, and I personally felt I feel safe saying the last decade, the concept of community and stuff has not been what it used to be. I remember back in the day, block parties every summer. You had all the old heads out there grilling the night before, DJ. It was just a community event that was like, it was such a big foundation of my childhood. And as I got older, it started to fizzle out. And I have a parent of two, and these are things I want to pass on to my kids and have them experience. I don't feel like we should always have to travel outside of our block, our neighborhood, to experience things like this. And it's sad to say, and I think we all might have a slight we've all done it. Like, hey, let's go to Long Island because it's probably nice or something out there.
Yeah, we've all
been
programmed.
To see the night market, it's funny how something as simple as throwing up those string lights just makes everything look magical. Like people,
magical, and that's the right word for it.
It's so awesome. But I'm always like head over heels for it. I'm always looking forward to it. I love the vibe, the people. It's just a beautiful, beautiful thing to go down within Queens, and I love it.
Absolutely. I think that the night markets just add a sense of, like you said, not just community, but also a sense of just real purpose, right? It's channeling that vendor pop-up energy and creating a really trying to build a circular economy. And I think that is the truest mission, right, of the sovereign markets or the sovereign night markets. It's really about how can we excel? How can we all, on the same level, how do we all set that next bar of excellence for our community, where you have the other communities saying, oh, we want to come to Queens, right? For the sovereign markets, right? And that is where we're trying to go. And that's what we're trying to build. But so we're always excited when we see you, Kirk, Lloyd, and as well as Sean, right? When you have these vendors you guys put everything into your product, you put everything into your display. You cannot come to a night market and miss you, right? You can't do it. You can't do it. And so that's what it's about. And you are your business is something that, we show new vendors, right? To aspire to be that vendor, have that tent, have that booth that is compelling. Like there's never a time that I've been to any of the markets and you're there and I'm not there 2-3 times. Your line is literally down the block. Right. And sometimes I look at you and literally every time you're like this, like
Yeah.
you know, and that is what it's about. And our goal is to have every vendor have that experience when you sign up to be a part of this market, a part of the night market. That is the goal, right? So back to that vendor experience, that is what we want. So missions like this and sessions like this, vendor sessions, are really important. And I know we're all tired and we're all, you know, Zoomed or, you know, internet out, but it's really important that we come together so that way we have vendors like you share your experience, what to do, your failures, your successes, so that way it's really each one teach one, and we're all growing together. And that's the truest mission of Sovereign Markets, right? That we're all curating this space where we're growing together.
Sure. So Lloyd, I want you to talk about a little bit. Your setup is unique, right? You have one of the most interesting setups out of everyone I've seen. Tell us how you started and how you got to that vision.
So first and foremost, like my 9-to-5 life for like the past 10+ years has been within retail, and a good chunk of that has been from the merchandising standpoint. So every vendor that's on here right now, treat that 4-foot or 6-foot table as your storefront. You know, if I've been to events where there was a sea of folding tables with black tablecloths and people just have their product out, and I was like the only one there with my little pop-up umbrella. I'm playing music. I'm I'm only just because we all family here. I'm gonna keep it 100 with y'all. The product that I do, it's not to knock it. It's nothing new. It is within many different cultures. It goes by different names: snowball, shave ice, whatever you want to call it. So for me to just sit there, plop down a table, put up my machine, and expect people just to be, you know, that enticing a product without there's nothing drawing them in. You know, you got to really think about it. When you go to these markets, a lot of people are shopping with their eyes before anything. You know, if you're doing, especially when it comes to food, you know, it's a visual thing. I want to say almost 90% of the people there have a phone on them, and the first thing they like to do is whip the phone out, take a picture of your product, and share it to the world. You know, and my next advice would be really get to know what your business is like. You can add your twist. Like I said, I'm very fully aware that I'm not the only one doing shave ice, but where I can go ahead and add my little flavor to it was a Caribbean vibe. Again, born and raised in Jamaica, I'm very fluent in the food that Jamaica has to offer. My wife is from Jamaica, so we just kind of put our heads together and we wanted to have this whole Caribbean vibe. And the main thing I love hearing when people come to the table is like, "Oh my gosh, I feel like I'm on vacation." That you don't understand how much I like crave to hear that, because now I'm not only selling a physical product, I'm selling a memory. I'm selling something that somebody's gonna be able to. Hey, you know what? I can't wait for summer to roll around because Pony Ice is gonna be there, or they want to show their kids or their family. That's really it. And I honestly feel like if you want to look at strength and weaknesses within minority Black communities and whatnot, that there is again a lack of that. Like, where's this sense of family and community? And if you can have a product that I think the whole family can kind of enjoy, it's almost a winner. You know, I'm like, I look for smiles. I look to hear those little statements and stuff like that. And that keeps me going, and always just, like I said, trying new things, making it an experience. You know, that's a consumer. That's what consumers do. They're looking for the experience, you know?
Yeah. So what are your sales like at the night markets that you've been to in the past? Like what kind of, how much customers do you get, or what does that look like for you?
So with the night markets always work out well for us. Our product, we do rely on foot traffic. Because our target market is families. So I wanted to make sure that my stuff was priced that I've had a family of 8 come up and buy something and still have, you know, be able to go around to the other vendors and support and whatnot. So anytime I do the night market, yeah, we're getting we get hammered. That line once it gets going, it's
So
pretty.
tell it. We need numbers. Like how well? What is well? What is good? Like what does that look like?
So, for example, I know we within what was it? I'm trying to think, which one was it? It was the first. I think it was the first one we did at Laurelton, because I missed the very first one at a
That was
state park.
Springfield.
In Springfield,
Yes.
Springfield. So yeah, I mean, if you want to throw a number over it, we definitely
Like how
did
many people?
close to about like a little over 1,000 that night. And this is just, again, this is us selling. Our most expensive thing that we really sell is like $6.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So, and from the lowest, from $3 to $6, and to be able to do that, and that's the thing. It wasn't even, you had people buying multiple stuff. It yeah, it was a good night.
Cool.
It was a good night. Yeah.
Right.
It's like the night markets are always dope. It's like I said, they really draw people in. There were people who weren't even aware about there being a night market. I see people like whip their car around to go park and come to the market. I see people polling their family. I see people live streaming.
Yes.
It was just, again, a really dope experience, and honestly, nobody's doing it in Queens like that.
Yeah.
Like, that was the one nice thing about, the night market. You got it. It's like it's nobody else was really rocking it like that, and we've been. It's funny because we've been to other parks where there was something going on, but again, the night market brings such a family vibe that, like Sean said before this, it's just, it feels safe. My kids were out there at the time. My pregnant wife was out there. She had her chair sitting there. It felt good. It felt safe.
My
It was
son
like,
could run up and down, and I know that somebody is going to make sure he's okay, right?
Yeah.
I don't. It doesn't. It's like the community got you.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I think that's one of the and another thing that is a recurring theme, vendors supporting other vendors, right?
Yes.
I've seen vendors like, hey, Diana, can you watch my stall? I have to go get this from this person before they sell out.
Yes.
And I'm like, oh, okay,
like,
right?
Just...
And one of the things that I would say that I feel like we do differently than most other organized vending events is this idea is we meet almost religiously every single Thursday from the start of the market to the end of the market. And that's not just to take up space, but that's just to build community outside of the market. So when you are there at the market, you see somebody's kid head pop into the video, that's Shauna's child, or that's Mike's child, right? There was times that, I'm not gonna lie, at the market over the summer, all the kids are playing, having a good time. I've had vendors say, no, Seth, come get some water. Come get some water. Seth is dehydrated. And that is magical. That is what we are. That is who we are. And I think the night market just extends that, right? It's just an opportunity. The vendors that are there, most of them, if not majority, they know each other, and they're going to look out not just for your child, but also for you as a business. I've had vendors say, I sell this, like one of the food vendors, like, hey, this person sells a dope hot sauce that goes great with this chicken.
Yes, I like that too.
That is
amazing. I like my lemonade from there and my sandwich from there. Yes.
It's amazing. And you can't buy this type of, I want to call it a success for us, right? It's just so real and surreal at the same time. And again, this idea of setting the bar and excelling, that is what we would hope to have done with this. And that what we hope to continue to do in terms of building this vendor experience when you come to one of the markets. So we're super excited. We can't wait till it comes back.
I just want to throw one other thing out there. And this isn't talked about as much as I'm out there. And this is to all the current vendors, new vendors. I'm gonna give Diana a big up here, because when it comes to these events, do try to get to know the host, build that relationship. I ain't gonna front. There's a lot of people out here, when they saw the success between people trying to get to do stuff, coming out of COVID. They've seen the success of other people's work and whatnot and events. There was a lot of people price gouging, a lot of stuff. And as I think it's important to know what your host heart is at. I personally have had very long conversations with Diana. We just vibing, talking shop, talking about the overall experience and just getting my feedback as a vendor. That stuff is important. Last year, if you know me, I was almost every weekend, everywhere from Long Island, Brooklyn, Queens, like hustling out there, grinding. And I've run into some people that, like, you just got to smile, go home and say a prayer for them and not really show your colors. But like, get to know your host, build that relationship, and you'll get to know really how the true intentions of a person's event. Because not for nothing is, and don't get me wrong, I encourage all you vendors. We're a business. If some people, if this is like you're a social thing for you, by all means do you. For the ones that are looking to build and grow their business, we do have to take into account that yes, we're out there to get the support from the people, build our brand, like I said, do stuff like proof of concept and everything. So it really, you don't have time. We as vendors, we wear a ton of hats. I don't have time to play politics with like a host and this. Like I've been days that I've called out on a rainy day. I've tried to be, I've been guilty, like, oh, but a customer said they're coming out for you. You know what? Give that customer my phone number. I will personally reach out to them, and next time I see them, I'll give them a discount. But you're not gonna guilt me into packing my car up, paying for gas, going an hour, going incoming for one customer. Because at the end of the day, it's either I satisfy that one customer or I satisfy no customers because I'm not growing my business.
Yeah.
So it's just been dope to see the growth within Diana, what she's been able to do with the market and just within herself. Like I was there early in the game, and like if you were there from jump, you remember everything was like, okay, we're gonna have white tints and this and that.
Yes.
And then you slowly got to see we had the opportunity to customize our tints, and it just became a dope vibe, and that all comes with just trial and error. You learn, you talk to your vendors, you get feedback, and doing stuff like this is awesome.
Absolutely. And as a host, right, there is a level of responsibility as a host for the market. And there's times like, I was dead set on this white tent. We all remember that. White tents. You get a white tent. You get a white tent.
We all remember.
And because we have a dialogue with the vendors, they're like, well, Diana, I kind of have my whole branding thing, right? And again, that's true when it comes to the intentions of an event organizer or a market organizer, you have to look back in yourself and say, it's not about you, it's about your clients, because the vendors are really your clients, right? Yes. And what do they want? And that just comes from being transparent and open and honest. So I was like, all right, guys, y'all can bring y'all colorful tents in. And I'm not gonna lie, it's dope. And I enjoy it now more than, that whole white tent aesthetic, right? Because you get to truly show who you are and just be vibrant. And that's who we are as a people anyway, right? We flavor, that's what we have. So, it's been a journey for myself as well. It's been a journey for the vendors and the team as well. So, I'm just grateful to have been able to have people like you and Pondy Ice a part of the team and just watching us grow. And again, we, as Aaliyah and I sat here and spoke about what does a night market look like? What should it feel like? What is the purpose? What is the mission, right? We have a whole list. We've been talking about this for months, right? We got everything written down, right? Because we want to make sure that we are raising the bar when it comes to vendor experiences. And as vendor operators, right, or as market operators, we want to make sure that when you go to any other market, any other event, you know what to look for, right? We are... And in full transparency, we're tired of hearing people come back to us like, man, just came back from this event. What should I do? Right? Because I get that a lot. I get phone calls like, hey, what should I do? I went to this event and this and this and this. And I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah. I'm like, should I approve this post?
Yes. Like, maybe call your lawyer, right? Yeah. So, because I am not liable for information. Yes. But we don't want that because we're a community and we want everyone to succeed. We want us all to do well. We want us all to grow. And it's really, that's how we're going to build this sustainable economy and this hyper local economy. And that's what we want to do. So super excited for this Juneteenth night market. It's going to be amazing.
All right.
It
Sir
is gonna
Lloyd,
be
thank you
amazing.
so much. Can't wait to see you. I'm
Yes.
sure you'll be at one of the day markets, but
Yes,
can't wait to
yes.
see you at the Juneteenth night market.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, and congratulations again.
All right, y'all.
All right.
Bye, guys.
All right, Diana, we're going to go into the Q&A, but before we go into the Q&A, I want you to just repeat one more time the who, what, where, why, how. Just rapid fire.
Absolutely. So again, the Juneteenth night market is happening. It's the official launch of the night market season on Sunday, June 19th from 5 to 10 p.m. at the Laurelton LIRR station. Again, we know that is Father's Day, so you're going to spend your Father's Day night with us at the market. And it is from 10 to 5 p.m. You can apply to be a part of the Juneteenth night market. If you are not already a Sovereign Markets vendor, you can apply at checorp.com. That's that little, it's scrolling across the bottom of our screen at some point. That's www.checorp.com, and you'll be able to create a profile, set up your profile, and apply to be. So there is an application process because we want to make sure, again, that we're doing a service to our community as to you business vendors. We don't want anyone coming to the market that is not ready to vend and not do well.
Right.
We don't want that. We don't want volume. We want quality versus quantity.
Right.
So if you do not get approved this first market season, this first market day, we'll work with you. We'll help you get to that space where.
I think even just for this night market, right? We're going to do this round, right? And this round closed on May 1st.
Yes.
And then you get feedback, right? And then you can apply again. We're going to do it again in May, and you can apply again with the feedback that we've given you, right?
Yes.
Because like you said, we don't want anybody to come to the market that they're not going to do well. It doesn't make us feel good. It doesn't make you feel good. There's really no purpose on it. But, I think with the workshops that you're going to offer, Diana, and the feedback that we're going to give, it's really going to help you grow, even if you're not accepted in this night market.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah. All right. So we're going to jump into the Q&A. So you guys get ready, start to type your questions in the chat. And in about 10 seconds, or probably less than that, we're going to do the Q&A. So see you in 10 seconds.
This whole thing is because of her. You want to say something to live? You live. Oh, hi,
live. All right. So go, Janice. All right.
I love you, Janice.
Questions happening. Did we talk about the promo code?
No, we didn't give the promo code yet.
Oh, yeah. Let's talk about the promo code. Go ahead.
Okay, so the promo code for $100 off the Juneteenth night market is Night Market 100. That
all
is
right.
your
So how much is the current rate? Without the
current rate for the night market is $250.
Okay.
Now, in all reality, did we go up from last year? Yes, because you know how we operate, y'all. In full transparency, we don't know any other way to do it. So yes, the night market did go up from last year, but in order to create better experiences, that means more entertainment, better everything, the price has to go up, and not to mention how inflation is working in the world already. So the market did, the price of the market did go up. So what we want to do is offer $100 off. So it'll be $150 for the Juneteenth night market if you have attended this info session. It expires May 1st, so you have until May 1st to book for the Juneteenth night market. It is live on the Convention Force portal. That's at checorp.com. Once you sign up to be, when it says vend with us, once you sign up, it'll take you to Convention Force. There you'll be able to use your night market 100 code to get $100 off the night market. Again, we are trying, the more successful we are at really promoting the night market, establishing a beautiful experience, is the better it is for you as vendors. So the night market is $150 with this coupon code. If you pass May 1st, it will be $250. But again, just listening to Lloyd, I did the math. He had about 116 or 136 customers. Mm-hmm. So if you have to do as vendors and really, do the work, you can recoup that vending fee easily. So again, the coupon code is Night Market 100, and that's for $100 off the Juneteenth night market for Sunday, June 19th, from 5 to 10 p.m. at the Laurelton LIRR station.
Right. And as I said before, we're doing this info session today. We're going to do another one, maybe mid-May, late May. We'll put the date out for that. So if you don't apply for this one and there are spaces left, you can think about applying for the second round. If you're not ready, right? If your application is not finished, you don't have the correct photos, and you want to apply a little later, you have that opportunity, but only if there are spaces left. So we're going to do this one, see the response, and then if there's room, we'll do another one. But apply. Let's see. So we're going to go into questions from our wonderful audience. Let's see what everybody is saying here. Apparently, Diana, check the code. Somebody said the code is not valid. People trying to book it right now.
Wow.
They're trying to book it right now. So make sure that code is valid. Go check that out. Hold on. Because Shauna said it's not valid and Shauna's ready to go. Shauna, what do you sell? Okay, we're gonna go up and wait for Shauna. So somebody wanted to know about the vending fee, but I think we spoke about that, right? Why the vending fee is a little bit higher this year. So last year it was 100 and I was 150. I mean, at least with this code, so it's $50 higher. But that's because we want to make it a better experience, right? We want to hire musicians, we want to hire artists, we want to hire people so we don't got to put up tents. Poor Diana, I don't lift. But Diana, I want Diana not to have to put up tents, and we can hire young people in the community. So that requires just a $50 increase.
No more tent lifting for us.
No more tent lifting.
Or putting up lights.
Yeah, like putting upping. No more of that. We got to be able to hire some people in our community. So that's why the price is a little higher this year. Okay, so okay, this is a question here. What is the price point of an average business, excluding vendors, and how well did they do? Especially, I am looking to see if businesses that have a higher price product do well. So I think this is really the person that comes to mind here is like Delali, right? Delali is dresses. She sells handmade clothes, and her pieces are probably anywhere from $75 to $300. I don't know if she's on. I'd love to hear from her. But she I don't know what she does personally, but I definitely know I see her at every market. So she must be doing pretty well. Hopefully she can come on if she's in the comments to tell us a little bit about what she's done. So we have people that have, outside of food vendors, we have $5 items like the hot sauces and the spices and the things like that, up to $300. So there is a big price range. Diane, if you have any other comments.
Yeah, I know personally for Delali, she has a great following outside of, outside of the market. And she doesn't wait until, yes, you did, Shauna. Thank you for helping me put up those lights. Yes, you did. You were holding me up. Yes, you were. I remember. But Delali, she absolutely markets her space at the market. She doesn't wait. She creates her own flyers.
Yeah, she does.
She hits up her network. So even on a slow day at the day market, she has a flow of customers because she really understands that it takes a lot of work outside of just being in the physical space to get customers to come. So she has a really faithful following. And again, her price points are probably one of the highest in the market. But she does everything that she needs to do outside of what the market does to bring people in. She really goes out and targets her networks. And, she comes up with really creative things like, hey, I can stitch your item at the market, right? Or meet me at the market to pick up your order. She does that as well. Prince Abu, again, another person with a higher price point. He has a whole e-commerce line that he usually does deliveries. But what he did last year was, hey, make your deliveries and pick them up at the market. Because what that did was not only bring people to him to pick up his product, it also gave people an opportunity to walk around and purchase from other folks. So it doesn't really matter your price point, whether it's high or low. It's really about how you're marketing your business and your brand.
Makes sense. I see a lot of questions here about tents, and do you have to bring tents? Can you rent tents? Who puts up the tent? So there are a lot of tent questions here.
Right. So last year for the night market specifically, we did hire a vendor to house our tents, deliver our tents, set them up, break them down, and take them back. Because year one, it was really the core team putting up all these tents. And that, when you're talking about 20, 30 tents every weekend, backbreaking. Even though we were fit, backbreaking. So we do have tents. We have about 30 tents that you can rent for $25 each, and each table is $5. So for about $30 extra, you can come to the market, have your tent and table set up your product, set up for you. You just set up your display, you're ready to break down, you leave, and we do all the work. It is really beneficial for those who do not have their own tent or means of getting tents and weights and everything. So we do have a few that we can rent out for you. It's about 30 tents that we have available.
Okay.
But again, for the night market, if you have your own tents, we do ask for our early drop off. So let's say the night market starts at 5. We do ask that you drop off your tents at between 10 a.m. and 12 p.m. Why? Because we need to string all the lights.
Right.
So again, that just ensures that everything looks beautiful and cohesive. So you can definitely drop off your tents if you don't have, but we do have a few for rent.
Okay.
And that's all portal. You'll be able to book. You'll be able to reserve tents, tables, and chairs on the portal.
Check the code again. Someone says the code.
I did. You know what it is? It's so much
space?
activity going on. It's so much activity that the program is like, wait a minute, what is going on? So the code is working, y'all. Just keep trying. We just have. I'm looking at it now. There's so much activity.
So is there a space between the 100 or no?
Is there?
Somebody said is there a space between
no
the 100?
Just
straight.
One word. Night market 100.
People are like, I'm getting it now. There's a lot of discount code fiasco. Diana, make sure the code is right.
Yes, it is. It's right. It's right. Just a lot of activity going on. We got y'all.
So we have some nonprofit questions. Is the cost the same to vend for nonprofits?
The cost for nonprofits for the night market is the same. Yes. Yeah. For the day markets, it is $50, but for the night markets, it's all the same price.
Right. They want to know about promo codes for other night markets.
There will be promo codes for other night markets. Again, this is an opportunity to really support you guys. So what we intend to do is for those of you who successfully, I'm putting in the code right now just to make sure. Hold on, guys, because this computer, oh, it went through.
Okay.
I got it off. So tell them to try again. Tell them, oh, you know what it is? The capital N. Maybe I should make it all lower cap so that way it's all
okay. Someone named Leah Young sent you an email. So she had a couple questions that she emailed you.
Okay. All right.
Let's see. Any other questions? I do have a question. Like, what happens at the night market? Like, what do I do with my kids? I hear people talking about kids. I saw people dancing to soca music. What happens at a night market outside of the vending?
Yeah. So, okay. And just to clarify before I answer that, it's all lower caps. Night market 100. You can try.
So let me fix that here.
Night market 100. All lower caps.
All lower. So not that. That's correct. The one on the screen.
Perfect. Night
Okay,
market
cool. I'm
100.
gonna leave that up there so everybody can do that. So yes, tell me what a night market looks like outside of.
Oh, a night market is a cornucopia of different events. So this year we are going to have a kids village where it's just like laced with children activities. And we'll also have some volunteers there to really help assist. So that way, if you want to just walk around with yourself or your beau, you can walk around the night market and have a good night. But we will have a kid village at the night market this year to really support that. And there's also dancing. We do a lot of dancing. So come prepared to dance. We dance and we do a lot of I would call it TikTok choreography, but there is a lot of
those kids are doing TikToks.
It is a lot of dancing choreography going on at the night market. There's also you did a pitch competition.
We did.
Right? So we went around and we spoke to different vendors, and you can pitch for your business. We
did double dutch. We had drummers. We had a band at the first one.
And there's seating, so you can have a cup of squat, relax a little.
Yes.
Yeah,
it's just community, music, culture, art, and entrepreneurship.
Yeah.
Okay, let's get to some of the other ones. Do vendors want to know, do vendors need to have workers' comp insurance?
Vendors need to have workers' comp if you have workers, if you have employees, staff that you are paying. Yes, you need to have workers' comp.
Will there be Sunday vendor options in 2022? So this market is a Sunday market. It's Sunday, June 19th. So yes.
Okay, so
I'm gonna wrap up because we at our hour. If you have any last questions, please type it in right now, and then we're going to wrap this up.
The code is definitely working
dinner time.
For anyone who wants to use the code. So it's live. Use your codes, people.
People are excited. So those of you who are not vendors, please put this in your calendar because you have to come out because we're gonna have a lot of vendors. Somebody asked how many vendors we're gonna have. What does that look like?
We have we stick about 50. So we kind of, because it's a delicate balance, right? Because it's not necessarily the more vendors you have is the more successful the market. It's more so, again, that idea of quality over quantity. So we don't want to have 10 of the same vendors there. We do not do exclusive vending. So we may have one or two or maybe
but we don't oversaturate.
But again, we don't want to have too many of the same vendors as well as too many vendors, right? Because it doesn't make sense to have an event with 200 vendors and 1,000 people come and nobody's making money, right? So it's better to have a good set number of vendors. Everyone is doing well. Everyone is able to walk through the market and see everyone and then just have a good time. So that's what we do. So 50 to 60 vendors.
Vanessa would like to know about food insurance.
What food insurance do you recommend for vendors to purchase? So depending on your business and what food product you're doing, there is a company that I use. I also own a food company called Jars of Delight. You can go to Cover Wallet, and it's basically like a marketplace. And when you give them some description about your business, they can direct you to the right place. My food insurance carrier is Liberty Mutual. It might not be that for you. It might be cheaper. It might be, there's another one that I used to use. Can't remember the name right now, but if you go to coverwallet.com, you'll be able to fill out or speak to someone and let them know what your business is, and they will recommend you to maybe 2 or 3 different types of insurance carriers.
Okay. All right. I think
yes, Hiscox. Thank you. That's the word. Thank you, Lloyd. That is it. Hiscox.
Oh yes.
Can we know if somebody had success with the code? Because I think you guys just crashed my program.
I think I'm good. I think we got is it suitable for first-time vendors?
Absolutely. Again, as Lloyd was mentioning, this is a great way to use the market as a pilot, right? As a kind of springboard. There have been about 2 or 3 different businesses that have vended with us at the market that now have a brick and mortar, right? So sometimes, Shauna, you got through. Thank you. So you guys just crashed my program. Thanks a lot. We love it. One of the things that I just had a squirrel moment. So one of the things in my mind just went bing, 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 bing. I had 50 different thoughts at one time. One of the things that you want to use as a market or a vending opportunity is to test your product, right? You want to make sure that you have a viable product that the community, that your audience would like to buy. So I think markets are definitely a great place to test your proof of concept. And that's one of the things we'll be teaching in the vendor essentials course that we'll be teaching from Sovereign Markets. It's just the different points of a seasoned vendor versus a first-time vendor, startup vendor, just what things to look out for and what to learn from. So definitely for our first-time vendors, this is the place for you to be.
Sure. Okay, so I just want to ask this last question and then we're going to close up. So what does the application process look like? You go on Convention Force, you fill out the application. How do you know when you're accepted? When do you pay? What does that look like?
Absolutely, absolutely. So I was going to share my screen, but nonetheless, so when you go onto Convention Force, when you create a profile there, I see people have already set up their profiles. You have to wait for an approval. We have to look through. So if you can fill out your application in its entirety the first time, that will be great. So we ask you for your name, your business. We ask you just basic questions about your business. We ask what kind of insurance do you have? We do ask if you have workers comp, if you have workers. If you can fill out to the best of your ability, if anything's missing, someone from the team will call you back. But once you have everything you need to vend, then you get an approval. You'll get an automatic approval message or email saying, hey, welcome to Sovereign Markets. And then from there, you'll be able to log back into the portal and look at all the market dates for the season, both night market and day market, and you'll be able to book right online. And then you'll also be able to pull up your receipts for your taxes. So that's something that's really cool too, and something that, you know, moving forward in any vending capacity, you want to look for these type of vendor experiences to make sure that you're setting yourself up for success.
Okay, so I apply, either I make it or I'm not accepted. If I'm not accepted, I can reapply later on when I have the things together. Tell me.
So once you apply, you're either approved, waitlisted, or denied.
Okay.
In any regard, you will get an email explaining what your status is and why. Maybe it's just that you're missing your insurance, or maybe you're missing your certificate of sales tax authority. And then we'll ask you for these items.
Yeah, I was gonna say, what are some reasons people are, if they have everything? Like I'm a business, I have everything, I applied. What are some reasons? What are some reasons that I'm not? Like, what if you have 10 shea butter businesses already? You have, 10 burger businesses already. How do we know?
Right. So when it comes to the type of business that you have everything right. What type of business? You will still be approved for the market, but maybe not approved for that event because 3 shea butter businesses or 3 body butter businesses have already successfully paid for that market. So we would lock that. Everybody's listed in categories. So your food, beverage,
got it,
home, body, everyone is put in a category, and each day, each market is only is capped at a certain amount of type of vendor.
Got it.
So you would not be able to go on and book
anyway
that day.
So you wouldn't be able to pay, you wouldn't be able to do any of that.
No.
So you just have to be accepted as a sovereign market vendor. Then you choose the event that you want. Okay, I got
Correct.
it. I got it. All right. I mean, I guess that's really it. I'm hungry.
Me too.
And I want to get off the internet, and I'm sure most of you do too. Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you to our speakers. Thank you to our vendors. Thank you to the people that just hung around to look at us and hear about the night market. I can't wait to see everyone in June. But I'll see you before then, because I'll see you on May 7th at the Sovereign Markets opening day, May 7th at 11 a.m.
At 11 a.m.
11 a.m. Come on by. You'll see a lot of your favorite vendors, some old ones, some new ones. And my personal favorite vendor, BlaQue Resource Network, will be there selling their merchandise.
New merch.
So make sure you come on May 7th. Thank you so much, Diana, for joining us. And I'm looking forward to our partnership.
Yay. Thank you, guys. I hear the music in the background.